It's all about the game, and how you play it. It's all about control, and if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pain. And who's gonna make it? Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Welcome back to Reboot, a show not about high school students jacking into the Matrix, but actually about how the programs in your computer are sexy. Case in point, today's episode is The Great Brain Robbery, which serves as the proper introduction of the outlaw mouse. This is a pretty big deal for the show. Mouse has been referenced in past episodes, and having her show up is really the first time the show is built on its own continuity, setting something up in one episode for it to be paid off in another. Mouse is a hacker program, one that can get in and out of any system without authorization. Between her fangs and southern accent, she's kind of like a cyberpunk vampire Reba McEntire.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, sweetie. I'm here now.
Mouse, how did you get in here?
That's what you hired me for, isn't it?
Mouse is clearly a sexual fantasy for the creative staff. She walks in a slow sway, the camera is often kept low to center frame her ass, and we get a scene where Megabyte just leers at her as she walks by. It screams, "Here's something for the dads" in the audience. Anyway, Mouse has been hired by Megabyte to shrink down, take a ship inside Bob's head, and gain the access codes for the supercomputer. Hack and Slash will also be coming along because Megabyte secretly wants to fail at everything he does. Meanwhile, Bob's just got done beating another GameCube, saving a sector of mainframe from nullification. Bob, Dot, and Enzo feel like celebrating, so they head over to Al's Diner, which is another nod to continuity, and it's nice to see our heroes supporting local businesses and not always going to Dot's place. In the back, Megabyte's goons have hogtied Al and have placed Mouse's shrunken ship into Bob's quantum shake. Bob is apparently the only one who ordered anything, and I don't know about you, but being with friends and being the only one eating always makes me feel like an asshole. However, before Bob can get a taste of that sweet, sweet quantum, Enzo begs for a taste. Just buy another shake. Treat your friends, Bob. So Enzo takes a sip, and Mouse's ship ends up inside the kid instead. Now, from Mouse's perspective, nothing's gone wrong. She doesn't know she's inside the wrong body, so she pilots the ship up to Enzo's brain and starts getting to work. Hack and Slash are pretty much useless, getting tangled up in Enzo's synapses and causing him to do this.
Enzo, what are you doing?
I don't know, I can't help it! Enzo, stop that! Get down! I can't! Help!
The baddies have been in Enzo's brain for like 5 seconds, and they've already given the game away. Concerned about his well-being, Bob and Dot bring Enzo to the principal office so Fong can take a look at him. I assume they won his services in a game of Pong off-screen. Between this and Dot's encounter with a magnet all the way back in The Quick and the Fed, it's clear that Mainframe really needs to set up some sort of healthcare system independent of the slow old guy who doesn't help you unless you beat him in sport. Fong takes a peek inside Enzo's head and discovers Hack and Slash. Thankfully, shrinking technology is this super easy thing that everyone has, so Bob suits up, gets inside Fong's special brain chip, shrinks down, and gets injected into Enzo's ear. As we all know from Animorphs, there's a clear pathway between the ear and the brain. Computer program, physiology, whatever. Meanwhile, Mouse has hacked into the brain's functions and given remote control to Megabyte, but it soon becomes apparent that they're not in Bob's head. At first, Megabyte is PO'd at this, but then goes, hey, we're in the principal office. That means access to Mainframe's core. It's not the supercomputer, but it's a nice second-place prize. So with the control over Enzo's motor functions, Megabyte pilots him over to the system operating core, stashed away behind a giant security door.
Warning, mainframe core, do not enter. Warning, mainframe core, do not enter.
Didn't you hear the lady? Do not enter! I said no!
And I say yes.
No fair! You've got control of my brain! That's cheating!
Okay, the core is the source of all power in mainframe. It's both absolutely vital to its operations and is also incredibly lethal with prolonged exposure. Only knowledgeable, trustworthy people should be allowed in. So why, oh why, is the security panel programmed with Enzo's handprint? What exactly made Fong think, yes, this tiny immature child, who once broke into the clock speed room and nearly destroyed the city, should be allowed with unsupervised access into mainframe's nuclear reactor. Also, let's just give him a loaded gun, see what happens. In Enzo's brain, Bob engages in a dogfight with Hack and Slash. Man, firing all these weapons in here cannot be good for Enzo. Oops, there goes his piano lessons. Yikes, goodbye memories of his parents. Bob managed to dismantle the two goons, but when investigating the ship, Mouse sneaks up behind him, knocks him out, and puts him in a status field.
So, who's our mystery hero?
Mouse?
Bob? Guardian Bob? Why, I haven't seen you
Since I arrested you for hacking into the supercomputer.
Wait, I get why Bob would be surprised to see Mouse, but why is Mouse surprised to see Bob? Her entire mission was to sneak into Bob's body. Did she not know whose body she was going into? What kind of master criminal fails to learn who her target is? And even if she didn't know, she had to have known Bob was the guardian of mainframe, and therefore the only one qualified to pull off a rescue mission like this. Did she also fail to research the system she was doing crimes in? This isn't a good look for a master hacker program. Bob informs her that if Enzo is allowed to stay in the core too long, all three of them will be destroyed. Mouse may be a thief and a crook, but she's no kid killer, so she breaks Megabyte's control and starts flying the ship out. I do like this detail where they fly over Bob's craft and disintegrate it, making sure sharp bits of metal aren't left in Enzo's gray matter. Bob and Mouse fly the ship out, where Bob introduces everyone to Mouse. Dot is immediately jealous about this woman she just met, because I guess she just senses Mouse is a rival for Bob's romantic attention, because women be crazy, I guess. Mouse slips out like a ninja, free to crime another day, so that just leaves Hack and Slash. This is a kid's show, so instead of incarcerating these villains and having them stand trial, Bob opts for ironic punishment, sending them back to Megabyte all shrunk down. As Megabyte also has size-changing technology, this is, at best, a minor annoyance. But then this show doesn't start having actual consequences until Season 2. The Great Brain Robbery isn't exactly original with its Fantastic Voyage plot, but it's a solidly written and well-executed story, a briskly paced 20-minute adventure. The main attraction, of course, is the introduction of Mouse, who's going to become a major player as the series progresses. The episode is a little gross in how leery it is over its low polygon babe-a-rooney, but Mouse is shown to be highly skilled, confident, and charismatic, a fun anti-hero to balance out the Saturday morning cartoon goody-goody antics of Bob and friends, while not being an outright villain. You don't realize how much a story needed a dashing rogue character until you have one. The episode didn't need the leering, and it definitely didn't need the weird Dot is jealous thing at the end. But besides gender politics, this is one of the better episodes of Season 1. I just hope Al got out of those ropes.
Gesundheit.